Well, hello there, motherfuckers. So it appears to me Raw's got a slight increase of 2.36 after the first episode, post draft. And it seems like people think this is a huge upswing. This is what I really get a kick out of. Celebration time because WWE's ratings are still low. Guys, if you think that that's low and you think that Finn, this is the thing that cracks me up is the YWC and the entire internet wrestling community doesn't fucking get it. They don't fucking get it. This is not going to improve WWE. Finn Balor is not the answer. This is a lot of people's like this is their logic when it comes to wrestling, what they think is missing from wrestling. And we've gone over this time and time again. Why is WWE so bad right now? Why is the product so bad? Well, if you listen to a lot of people, they tell you, well, because it needs to be more like NXT. That's where it's at. NXT's got all the answers. Really? Okay, now. So now WWE is pretty much like NXT. What does this mean? It means that the guys that they like, every match is got to have, high flying moves, very little selling. It's got to have, guys that don't look like stars, guys that don't have impressive builds, guys that don't look larger than life, guys that don't even necessarily have a huge following. Now, somebody told me that I must be deaf, that Finn Balor got a reaction when he beat Reigns. I didn't say that because the crowd was reacting because it was fucking huge. Somebody beat Reigns. They were cheering for Finn Balor because he beat Reigns. And this is like, this is something that, like, if somebody beats Cena, they're going to, just fucking blow up. And of course, everybody chooses to gloss over the fucking fact that when Finn Balor walked out to debut on Raw, barely anybody reacted. It was like a quarter of the audience. See, how many people are at Full Sail for like an episode of Raw? Like 1,800 maybe? 500? It might not even be that much. To me, it looks like a Ring of Honor audience. When I used to go to Ring of Honor in Lake Grove, New York, the Hammerstein Ballroom, it looks about the same thing. It's like the size of a convention center, basically. So, it's easy for Finn Balor. Those people are there every fucking week. They're regulars. WWE travels around. They're never in the same place twice, during, the span of a couple of weeks. If they ever have, it's been a rarity. So, for Finn Balor to get a reaction there, that's not exactly a challenge. It's a challenge for a guy to be over with the entire WWE crowd, where they a lot of times have no less than 14,000 people, a lot of times have 20,000 people, despite the low ratings and not as, high of attendance record. They don't always sell out all the time. I don't really know what their attendance records are right now, but they're not like phenomenal. I know they don't sell out every show. But people were arguing with me on my video where I talked about how, Finn Balor is not ready to main event SummerSlam, and he's not. This, I believe, is the second biggest show of the year. They're not saying it, but isn't SummerSlam going to be 4 hours again? This is a huge, massive event. This is a colossal event that, garners a lot of attention. So it's like the second coming of WrestleMania, basically. So they're going to put Finn Balor in the top slot. And this is just what I can't believe. And I know, like I said, I know why they're doing it. They know that the Brooklyn crowd, my crowd here in New York, at that specific venue, is going to be full of smarks. And yes, New York is full of them. And even though I enjoy a good New York crowd, sometimes those motherfuckers can be pretty fucking annoying. And I've always said that. You know, it might be fun to be a part of it in the audience and everything like that. But let's be perfectly honest. The crowd is annoying. It's stupid. The chants are dumb. They have no place during the show. And, you know, it's gotten so ridiculous that at times, you know, like certain post Raw WrestleManias, let's be honest, they're not like phenomenal. None of them were ever amazing. Like, I still remember, like, the Raw after WrestleMania that I went to, 29. So they had it at the Izod Center. Dolph Ziggler wins the title. The whole rest of the show was complete poopy. Complete fucking bullshit. And, you know, the crowd was doing the wave the whole night. And the thing was, I remember somebody said that it was the crowd that made that show good. And I'm like, what? Huh? That's kind of like going to an NBA playoff game and saying, oh, you know, I was bored with the game, but the crowd was great. It's like, what? You know, how can the crowd be better than the show? And if that's the case, that's pretty fucking sad. And that shouldn't be. I mean, like, the crowd, the way how the crowd acts, it's just like, why do they even go to the show? Why did they even fucking go? Why did I not race to get SummerSlam tickets? Brian, why are you not going to SummerSlam if it's in New York? Because you know what? I really wasn't in a rush. I was going to get them, but I was like, you know what? Why am I going to spend money on this fucking shit when I'm not even that excited to see it? Like, I watch wrestling, but I'm not even that fucking excited to see the fucking show, so I'm not going to buy the ticket. I'm not going to fucking go, and you might be like, oh, Brad, but, you know, you could go with your friends, and yeah, that may be true. You know, I could have fun with them, but once again, what am I going to have? I'm going to have fun doing the wave and shit like that? You know, this main event is fucking ludicrous. Finn Balor, who doesn't even have the decency to put on the fucking demon paint to at least seem somewhat fucking important during his debut. This is what somebody's saying. Oh, well, you know, he only does the paint at special events. It's his debut! I don't care what the fuck he did in NXT. When you walk through the doors into the main roster of WWE, onto the main roster, onto Raw, you know, what Vince said a couple of weeks ago, the juggernaut, right? So, you know, to walk onto the juggernaut, maybe you should, you know, put your best foot forward, put on your best suit, and by best suit, I mean the fucking demon costume. Where was the demon costume? I mean, what? You know, you left it behind? What the fuck? You know, at least maybe. I'm just saying for visual presentation and just how things look. And, you know, because wrestling's very visual. You know, like, think about it. All the things that you've seen in wrestling that remember, you know, you looked at something, and sometimes, you know, visuals help it out. Like Stone Cold with the blood pouring down his face with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Okay, so, you know, wrestling is very visual. We got that. So, how about fucking Finn Balor? Maybe not when he debuts. That would have been good. But how about when he came out for the match with Reigns? The guy's the fucking demon. And this is the first time maybe Roman Reigns is rattling stuff. And I would be able to believe that to a certain degree. Because even though Reigns is much bigger, this guy looks like a fucking nut job. He's coming out almost looking like the goddamn boogeyman. So, you know, Finn Balor looking like a star with the paint. Could you imagine if, some people were saying, oh, it's the costume's stupid anyway. Well, here's the thing. Can you imagine Sting without the face paint? Can you imagine Ultimate Warrior without the face paint? Sometimes the face paint is necessary for the guy to get over. Because let's face it, okay, so Finn Balor might have a movie star look. He might be a good looking guy and everything. But the thing is that's hurting him, it's the size. He doesn't have the presence of a Daniel Bryan where he could get away with lacking size. So Finn Balor should be wearing the fucking paint all the fucking time. Put on the fucking paint! Finn, put the fucking paint on! For God fucking sakes. You look like a jobber without it. Let's just go ahead and fucking say that. Put the fucking paint on, Finn. Put the fucking paint on.